So, oh, there it goes. We're good.
All right, we have a great presentation here for you. So let me just start bringing up the PowerPoint here for you. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Welcome, everyone. This is our Early College Institute orientation. We're so excited to have everyone in the program, and we're excited to kick off summer with our orientation in preparation for a wonderful fall semester. My name is Gabby Distelmeyer. I'm one of your early college advisors at Prairie State. I work alongside Beth Wyack. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Like Gabby said, my name is Beth Wyack. I'm the manager of recruitment and outreach at Prairie State. So along with Gabby, we help manage the early college program for a majority of our district high schools. So our team is myself, Gabby, Mrs. Inca, and Mrs. Miller. So we are here to answer any questions that you have, from here until the end of the school year. We congratulate you for making it this far and getting accepted into the program. We're really excited for you to start at Prairie State in the fall. We hope you enjoy the classes that you're enrolling in for the fall, and then new classes in January. But like I said, if at any time you have any questions throughout the whole process, please reach out to one of the four of us. Our main goal is to help you be as successful as you possibly can be. So please feel free to reach out at any time. Welcome.
All right, here's our contact information. This is the first thing we're going to start off with. This is Beth's information here on top. My information and my name, and our phone numbers here at the bottom. We're a little bit more informal at the college level. We go by our first name, so you don't have to call us like Miss Wyack or Miss Distelmeyer, just Beth and Gabby. That's what we prefer, and that's kind of what commence feels like. We just go by a first name basis. Please feel free to reach us any via phone or email. We're probably going to be most responsive with our emails. We literally check our emails all day long. That's just kind of what we're used to doing. And I'm going to bring up in a couple slides how important it is for students to start using their Prairie State College email accounts. So we're going to talk about that in a couple slides. We just want you to know that we're here to help you, and welcome to the program. A little bit about Prairie State College in general. You will find that I will be visiting your campus as a recruiter from the college. So I'm your representative. I go to Bloom and Bloom Trail high schools on a regular basis. I work very closely with your counselors. If you have any questions about our programs after ECI, please don't hesitate to reach out. Prairie State College has been doing the early college program for over 10 years now. We're fortunate to have Beth with us. She started the early college program with the college, so she's seen it from the very beginning. There really isn't a situation that comes up that we are not going to find the answer to. So we just want all the parents on the call to know tonight that your students are in very good hands. And if we don't know the answer to your question, we're going to definitely point you in the right direction. So we're a two-year community college, so we have associate degrees and certificates at Prairie State. Everyone's going to get a copy of this PowerPoint slide. So we have our full list of career programs and certificates, and our transfer programs. So transfer programs are anything that you start at Prairie State at the associate level, doing your freshman and sophomore level classes, and then you transfer those credits to a four-year university. So everyone has already been registered for their fall semester. So fall registration began in April, and we had our early college students pick out 2 classes under the general education core requirements. And just a little bit more about what gen eds are called. So, if you hear of anybody that, anybody that's going to college right now and they say, oh, I haven't really fine-tuned my major yet, I'm just working on my gen ed core classes, my gen eds, that means that they're following the requirements to a bachelor's degree in the areas of communications, humanities and fine arts, physical and life sciences, mathematics, and social and behavior sciences. So part of early college, students had the option to select either a communications class, English or speech, a humanities or fine art class, or a social behavior science. And then we just had just a sprinkle of college elective classes that do transfer to four-year degrees. So what students are going to be taking, what are those classes look like? So for fall semester 2, fall and spring semester, both semesters, students select 2 classes, and they run on Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. And they're following the timeline of getting to the college, beginning their classes at 8 a.m. and finishing their classes at 9:15. Then they return back to their respective high school campus to go about the rest of their high school day as their classes are scheduled. So all students, again, are already registered for their fall semester courses. There can't be any changes to their courses. This is their schedules are already set up. Everything's set in stone. So they're kind of locked in for fall. Students will have an opportunity again to select their spring classes in October. So we sit down again for registration for spring in October, and the students are able to select 2 more early college classes. Now we're really going to start talking about like online communication. So as I mentioned before, it is very, very important for students to start checking their Prairie State email accounts. So all students have already been assigned a Prairie State College email address. And this is going to be separate from their communication from the high school. So they have their high school email account, and now as early college students, they have their Prairie State College email account. We really want to drive home the fact that any communication with the college, with your professors, please use your Prairie State College email account. Your Bloom account, doesn't even have your name. It has, a series of numbers. So when a college professor sees that email account from a high school student, they're not going to know who you are ahead of time, because we don't, we discreetly enroll our early college students in our classes. We do that on purpose. We don't want anyone to feel targeted as a high school student at the beginning of the semester. So all early college students are enrolled in classes with traditional college students. So there's going to be students, a lot older than you in your classes that are traditional college age. The returning adults are also in those 8 a.m. classes. So, we don't have like a roster, like here are all your high school students. We don't tell the instructors that on purpose, because we want it to feel very genuine at the beginning of the semester, and for students to really experience the class for what it is as a college student, because that's what they are at Prairie State. When they're on our campus, they're treated as a college student. Now, halfway through the semester, we then request progress reports from all our college professors. And this is an opportunity for professors to let us know how the student is doing. About halfway through, college semester is 16 weeks. So we check in with our instructors at around that 6 to 7 week check-in point for them, like right at midterms, for them to release what the student current grade is and how they're doing, any notes or any comments they have about the students' behavior in the class, or how they're doing, or what needs to be fine-tuned for the rest of the semester. So we request those progress reports. It's not a requirement for our college professors to provide them to the high school, but we do have a really good turnaround rate. For the majority of our professors really turn in those progress reports to us in a timely manner. So anyways, I was kind of getting off track. So online communication is so important. All college students are assigned a single login. So they have a username, which is actually your email address. Username and the email address is one and the same. And then they provide you the college provides you with a temporary password. And when the first time you log on to WebAdvisor or your Prairie State College email account or Desire to Learn, these are our 3 student accounts, it'll generate you to reset that password right away and make sure something you remember. But if you ever need to reset your password, the temporary passwords do expire. So that's feedback that we've received from early college students in the past. Oh, I haven't logged into my account since I, registered from our classes in April, and then they try to get into their accounts in August. And the majority of the time, they're going to have to reset their password because the temporary passwords have already expired. So I provided here our IT help desk email address here for students, helpdesk@prairiestate.edu. Tell them that you're a new student and you need a new temporary password. So then you're able to reset your password yourself. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video. It shows you a little bit of insight in how to get into your student accounts.
Hi there. This is a quick video to show you how to access your Gmail account and how to access your online classrooms. First, I'll show you how to access your Gmail account. You want to go to prairiestate.edu, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see this box, and here is the button for your Gmail account. You'll simply click on this, and you'll be able to sign into your Gmail. Now I'll show you how to log on to your online classrooms. Your online classroom is called D2L or Desire to Learn. This is Prairie State's online learning platform. It is sometimes referred to as Brightspace, but they're all the same thing. To access D2L or Desire to Learn, you want to log on to prairiestate.edu again, and then on the right-hand side, you're going to see this button for Desire to Learn. Simply click on that, and it lets you into your online class platform. If you need help navigating D2L, check out these great resources. In the search bar, simply type in D2L, click on that and hit enter. And you'll see that Desire to Learn is the first thing that comes up for students. There are great resources listed here. To learn how to use the tools in D2L, click here on this YouTube video. I'm not going to click it on because it'll start to play, but click on that. And the video will tell you how to navigate the homepage, how to access your classes in D2L, and then once you're in your classes, how to find your syllabus, discussion board, articles that your instructor might have uploaded, great things like that. You can also click here to watch a 2-minute video on how to navigate the D2L learning environment. Also on this page are contact information of who to reach out to in case you have any questions about how to navigate D2L. So be sure to check out this page.
Additionally, we've created an early college D2L PowerPoint presentation that really goes into it's like a mini tutorial on how to navigate D2L a little bit further in detail. So I will be providing all of our early college students with that via email as well. So you'll be getting email communication from your professors throughout the semester, but also from your early college advisors. So again, just watch out for those important email messages from me. Okay. The next page I want to go over is a little bit about transfer information. So we are an accredited, regionally accredited institution. So our credits transfer anywhere in the United States. We're part of what it's called Illinois Articulation Initiative, and I provided the website of like what that actually means here for you. Just means that we're accredited. So our credits, it's really endless how our credits transfer across the United States. So if you have any questions about how your credits will transfer to your four-year school once you have a better idea about where you're attending, please reach out to the college. We have very knowledgeable staff that helps with that transfer process. We also are featuring, and we have done this in the past and we're going to do it again for this year. We have a transfer workshop. We're still working on the date for fall. Usually it occurs in October, but we really go into how credits transfer, how can you become, really marketable as far as like getting really great scholarships and taking advantage of everything that Prairie State College has to offer as far as like being a transfer student. So it goes into that a little bit more in detail. So all early college students are invited to that. I think, it's very critical that all early college students attend because you really need to understand how your credits are going to transfer. Transferology is also a website that we highly recommend. You can, for instance, if you're going, you have in mind you're going to maybe Urbana, for example, as just as an example of a college. So you can actually put, your class at Prairie State, say you're taking like COM 101 and Psych 101 as your two early college classes, right? So you can put those in Transferology and then you can bring up University of Illinois at Urbana and see what the class is called there at their institution, see what the equivalency code is, and you can do that for a variety of different schools. Like there's tons of schools on there. It's pretty well known, Transferology, and most four-year universities are going to be using that as their transfer search tool. Prairie State College also has some transfer guides by degree. And so I provided the link here for students. You can check that out as well. Let us know if you have any questions about transferring. We talked a little bit about this vocabulary already, but so your username and your password are one and the same, right? So the example of what that might look like, it's going to be your first initial of your first name, then your full last name, and there may be a number or two after that. And it's going to be at students. Students is always plural, .prairiestate.edu. So that is an example of what a username at the college looks like. So make sure that you put at students.prairiestate.edu as part of your username. Password, you know what password is, email, talked about really the importance of communicating with anybody at the college using your Prairie State email account. Please do so. Talked about Web Advisor already. This is, it's just good to know this stuff and always refer back to this PowerPoint if you ever have any questions, okay? But I do want to bring up that I want students to be able to check their student schedule before classes begin in August. So you find your student schedule on Web Advisor, okay? You're going to click, you're going to log into Web Advisor first, then click on the blue student tab. Then there's going to be a pull down menu. Sorry, this says fall 2021. I need to update this for fall 2022. Pull down the menu for fall and your classes for fall will appear on your, that's what your student schedule is. It's also going to provide you your student ID number with the college. Okay. Desire to learn, they talked about this in the video already. So this is your online learning platform, even though your classes are in person for fall semester, we still need students to be able to log into D2L, because there's always going to be some type of online learning component that go along with your class. Weekly announcements about the class will appear on D2L. You'll sometimes professors will tell you to log on to D2L to complete your exam or the next weekly assignment, or to upload your papers. Classroom dialogue and discussion boards are posted on D2L, so it's just as important as attending class is regularly checking your D2L account and making sure you're up to date on everything there. The most important thing about your class is your class syllabus, okay? So this is an outline of important information about the course, including rules, policies, classroom expectations, attendance, explanations about what the assignments are and their due dates. So the syllabus is a contract between you and your instructor, and by you staying in the course, you are agreeing to what is outlined in that syllabus. So it's so very important. And your syllabus should be posted on your D2L account as well for the class. This is a good opportunity. I think I'm going to bring it. I was trying to think of when I was going to bring it up. I think I'm going to bring it up now. So let's talk about attendance, okay? Attendance is so very important. You're going to feel very different than being in high school. There isn't going to be, for example, like a hall monitor or security guard or anybody like telling you, oh, you got to get to class. You have 30 seconds to get to class. There isn't anything like that in college. So it feels different. Your professors aren't going to regularly check their roster and call out students' names to take attendance. It is expected that you attend class because your district is paying for this course. So in college, you pay for what you get, right? So you have to go to class. You're already paying for your classes. It's an expectation that you attend your class every single class period, even though they're not taking attendance on a regular basis. Instructors will get to know you. It's going to feel small, like we don't have really huge lecture halls at Prairie State. So you're going to be in a classroom, and after that second week of being in class, you'll be in class 4 times. At that point, the professors will get to know who you are, where you sit in class, and even though you don't think they're taking attendance, they really are taking your classroom participation. You get participation points for things you bring up in class, and if you answer questions and stuff like that. If you participate in the discussion that's going on in the class. So even though you don't think they're taking attendance, they are giving you points for attending their classes. Okay. Part of early college, we expect our early college students to go and attend every single class at Prairie State. A little bit more about how it feels different from high school and college. We talked about attendance already. Holidays and spring break. So let's bring this up. Even though Bloom might have a day off from school, Prairie State College isn't going to have the same day off. Okay, so it's expected that you adhere to our academic calendar at the college, because you're treated just like our traditional college students. We can't make exceptions for the early college students. So I think you kind of knew this signing up for this. I think your high school counselors kind of talked about it with you already, but the holidays aren't going to match and your spring break isn't going to match. Basically, early college students don't have a spring break because you're in class at Prairie State, maybe when you're out of high school, and then maybe when you have your break from high school, you're still in your college spring break. So they don't align. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So the expectation is that you attend all of your classes at Prairie State and follow our academic calendar. Balancing school and social life, you know, you're gonna feel challenged in these classes for a reason, because this is where your college transcript begins for the very first time. And your transcript is gonna follow you throughout your college, history. So if you maybe, 5 years from now, you're starting to think about going to grad school, you'll be using your Prairie State College transcript, to apply to graduate programs or doctorate programs. It follows you wherever you go academically. So very important to take your early college classes seriously. We want our early college students to access our resources on campus. We have, you have your early college advisors. Please talk to Beth or myself throughout the school year. If any questions come up, any issues, there really isn't anything that you could bring up to us that we would ever feel like, well, why are they asking this question? Please feel just comfortable, and we want you to feel that we're very approachable, because we are, and we want you to be successful because we love this program, and we really want to cater to our early college students, and we want you to have a really great experience and love the early college program. So just please come talk to us. We have everybody's been invited to our early college office hours. So that's going to happen every Friday morning from 8:30 to 9 a.m. The first meeting is mandatory, which is occurring on August 19th, which is a Friday. It's every Friday morning. That one's mandatory, and then the rest of the semester participation is strongly encouraged, but it's not, necessarily required. But just pop on the call, tell us how you're doing, and then you don't have to stay on the whole time. You can just check in with us. If you don't have anything to share, then you can just go about your day. But it's important to check in, and maybe once you're on the call, another student will ask a question and that you may be thinking about as well. So you just strongly encouraged to participate in that. We also have our library resources. We have free tutoring services in our writing center. All these services are available virtually because we know your time is very limited that you're on campus with us. But we have virtual appointments that you can schedule after school as well. So please, participate in the free tutoring in the writing center. Even though you're not necessarily going to take, if it's not on your schedule, an English course, you're going to be writing essays for all your college courses. So it's important to have someone proofread it and look it over and give you feedback. And you can always improve your writing skills and get a stronger grade by having someone look over your work before you turn it in. Our Office of Disability Services is also available to our early college students. I have provided our new coordinator. Her information is here for you. Her first name is Shelly. She goes by Shelly. She's worked with the early college program a couple years back, so she's familiar with early college students. But it's important to bring up at this point that if you or a 504 plan at the high school, Prairie State College isn't automatically going to know about it. You have a right to privacy as a college student. That's very important in college. So we don't have access to your school file from the high school. So we rely on you bringing it up to us, letting us know, do you think I can have an accommodation for this class, or can I talk to you a little bit about this problem I'm having and I want some additional help. We want you to come to us, and there is a process set up for students. You do have to do an intake form, and then Shelly will go over, the differences between high school and college and let you know what's available and what's not available. But we won't, we rely on you to bring it up to us. We can't see your student records. Okay? Services can't be retroactive either, meaning that if you come to us like midterm and request for accommodations, you can't get any of those points back from earlier in the semester. So we really want your accommodations to be set up from day one. So we're giving you, the whole summer to kind of, think about it, let us know. Even if you're on the fence, so, maybe I want to see if I can do it on my own without accommodations, might as well just get it set up and reach out to Shelly to, ask any questions you may have, and then kind of let her know, yes, this is something I want. I looked over my syllabus, it's the first week of class, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And you can always set up those accommodations easily if you have things already set up in place. If you wait till, halfway through the semester, it just kind of makes your life more stressful and things, more difficult, and they don't have to be. Here are the links from the Writing Center and the Student Success Center if you are interested in tutoring or setting up those virtual appointments with the Writing Center. Again, we strongly recommend take advantage of this. Some benefits of being in the program I might not have mentioned already. I think I did all these already though. You get a better understanding of the college process, what it feels like to go through registration, ask any questions about financial aid while you're filling out your FAFSA for the first time, coming up in October. I know you're all going to work with Ms. Miller and Ms. Inka about that. This is your, your college training wheels, if you will. Your college level classes for the first time, you're going to see what it feels like. You're going to feel challenged because it's college. So don't feel, just be ready for it. We don't want to like scare anybody or anything. We want you to be excited for this program, but it's college. It's going to feel like college. Of course, you're earning your college credits while still in high school and really taking advantage of this amazing opportunity that Bloom District is providing students. They're paying for your college classes. How awesome is that? Talked about the articulation initiative being part of IAI and how these credits transfer nationwide. And then you have an opportunity to interact with other college students. Oh, I also want to bring out that there'll be other early college students from other school districts in these classes as well, alongside traditional college students in your classrooms. Now we're almost to the end of my presentation, but I have already assigned you your first homework assignment. Yay! Who's excited about that? So actually, the due date's wrong on here. The due date's Monday, August 1st. Actually. We want you to check your student accounts. And I want to
I'm sorry, it broke up like completely. We didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Interrupting. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so this is your first early college homework assignment that I'm prescribed, or like I'm assigning to all of our early college students. Okay, so everybody's received an email from me, and I'm requiring all early college students to fill out their FERPA forms, and I'm going to explain a little bit what that is. The FERPA form is your Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. So the form that I've given to you via email is to allow the college to release your student records and information to your high school. And you also have an opportunity to release that information to any parent or guardian or family member that you have at home that you want to include. Okay. So for example, why we would use a FERPA. If you are requesting accommodations from the college, or if you're, for some reason your mom wants to find out what classroom you're in at the college for some unforeseen reason. Let's say emergency comes up or something, and they want to say, I need to get a hold of my students, but I need to figure out what classroom they're in at the college. We can't release that information to you unless your student fills out the FERPA form. Okay. So that is due, sorry, this due date's wrong. In the email I provided students, it says Monday, August 1st. So that's when I'd like students to return it back to me. And another reason why I'm assigning this homework is I want to make sure you can log on to your Prairie State College accounts, and one of those accounts is your email account. So I'll be, keeping track on my spreadsheet, everyone that responds to my email and sends their FERPA back to me. And then I'll be checking in with your high school if I don't receive them back after August 1st. So please let me know if you have any questions to that leading up to fall semester. Okay. Very important, I don't think I've said this yet. Parents, I know you want to be involved, and that's great to have that support at home. Any communication with the college and the college professors, however, they want to hear from your students. They don't want to hear from, mom or dad or, another guardian or family member writing on behalf of the students. That really is a big no-no in college. The students are in the class with the professor, and so it really violates actually FERPA to communicate with the parents, at the college level. So they want to hear from the students. Let us know if you have any questions, if you don't have an issue that comes up. That's why you have early college advisors and you have your high school counselors at the high school campus. So we are your support team. If you need to ask a question about, what's going on in a class, or you want to reach out to us on behalf of your student, please feel free to reach out to us, but don't reach out to the college professors, okay? This brings me to the conclusion. Now, I'm sure maybe I've missed some key points, so I'm relying on Beth or Miss Inca or Miss Miller. Let me know if I missed anything. But thank you so much for your time, and everyone will be receiving a copy of this presentation as well.
Okay, I'll address the questions in the comment section about the Prairie State emails and the schedules. When you applied to the college, whatever email address you used when you filled out the admission application, you should have gotten an email from Prairie State letting you know what your email address is and how to set that up. If you can't find that email, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to contact the help desk at prairiestate.edu. We'll put that in the comment section as well, and ask them to resend you that information. Gabby and I do not have access to that. In that email that you receive, thank you, Mrs. Inca. In that email that you receive, it tells you your Prairie State email address, but it also gives you a time-sensitive password. So that password has lapsed if you haven't filled that out yet. So you'll have to contact the help desk. And what I always suggest you do, put your full name in the email address that you used when you filled out the application, and also your birth date. Because there might be someone in our system that has the same name as you or something similar to you. And then once they receive that information, they will send you back out your email address and then that time-sensitive password, okay? So that's why we're having this now, because a lot of students didn't receive that, or maybe they received it and thought it was junk mail, threw it away, or it's in their spam or something like that. So that's why it's important for you to look. So I would encourage everyone to look tonight or within the next couple of days. If you do not have it, send an email to the help desk so that you can get it, because in there, in addition to the emails that Gabby talked about, inviting you to office hours and that assignment that she discussed, your schedule is also in there too. So once you get registered for your classes at Prairie State, every sort of communication gets sent to your Prairie State email. It will not get sent to any other email. That's why it's really, really important to set up that Prairie State email. So when you, when Gabby and I registered everyone, you get an email that tells you you are now registered for these classes. And then when Gabby talked about Web Advisor, once you get the information on how to set up your username and your password, that is the same username and password for all of your accounts. So once you can log into your email, then you can log into Web Advisor. And in Web Advisor, that's where you'll actually see like your official Prairie State schedule. So I would do that, yeah. So Lorenzo, really simple. Like what I always tell students to do is just put like the title of the email, just put, you know, reset username and password. And then in the body, it could just be really simple. I recently applied to Prairie State. I've never received an email letting me know what my username and password is. Can I please get that resent to me? Your name, your email address, and your birth date. And they're usually pretty quick with sending that back. It really just depends on how many other emails they have right now. Summer classes are starting at Prairie State, so there might be a little bit of a lag with them getting back to you because there's probably a lot of students asking for their accounts to be reset, but that's okay because we have plenty of time to get you in your your username and password set up. If for some reason you don't hear anything and it's been like a week and a half, please reach out to Gabby or myself, and then we can send an email to the help desk on your behalf too. But it's best for you to send it first because they won't send us your username and password. They're going to send it directly to you. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, just reach out to us. If you don't remember what email address you used, I believe Miss Miller and Miss Inca, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but all the students probably use their
Every single trail kid used their Bloom Trail email because they applied with me.
yeah.
And for my Bloom Trail kiddos, and I think for Bloom High School, remember where it went in that spam folder? Remember we had to look in a spam folder, guys? I'm sure you guys are all remembering now. It was in there, so please check that. I think it was eventually fixed because the kids who applied weeks later, it was going to their inbox, but just search your spam folder because most likely everything is in there if you're not finding it in your regular inbox.
Yeah. So Michaela, your schedule, usually when they won't send you an email with your schedule, it usually just tells you you're registered for your classes. To get your schedule, like Ms. Miller said, you would have to check Web Advisor. That's where your schedule will be found. You'll just get an email letting you know that you were registered for your classes through there. But that's also the way that Gabby and I will communicate with every student is through their Prairie State email. So that's another reason why we want you to get it set up. The last thing I want to touch upon, because I don't think we touched upon this, was COVID. You know, COVID is still something that's still very real and out there. So in the fall, the governor, if you're not aware, set a mandate that all students who take in-person classes at Prairie State would need to either verify that they have been vaccinated from COVID or submit to weekly testing. As far as we know, this is continuing in the fall. So once you're registered for your courses, about 2 weeks before classes start in August, you will get an email letting you know how to either upload your vaccination card or submit to weekly testing. That is a requirement of the college. So you would need to submit one of those two things. Gabby and I do not get that information, so please do not send us your vaccination cards or anything like that, or your weekly testing. It has to go through the portal. And we'll send an email out closer to the time when classes start in August, just to remind you that you're going to have to do that. Okay, it's very, very important for you to do that. The college does monitor that students have submitted their vaccination cards or their weekly testing. If you don't, you can get dropped from your classes. So we don't want that to happen. We want all students to remain in their courses. So please let us know if you have any questions about that. Everyone that's saying that it's not in your spam or anything like that, it's fine. You just have to contact the help desk. Okay. It happens very often that students need to contact the help desk to get that information resent. So please just send the email to the help desk that Ms. Inca again put in the chat, and they'll be able to help you.
The help desk is amazing, you guys. They get back to you right away. Always helpful. It's just right now, if you're not finding anything, again, it's really common. Once you reach out to them, it'll happen like that. Just give them your full name, you have the email address you applied in, which was your Bloom Trail or your Bloom email address, and your full birthday, and they'll get back to you really quickly.
Yeah, and just know that we're on summer hours. So if you should email the college or email the help desk like 4:30 or later on Thursday. The college is closed on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the summer. So if you email then you probably won't get a response until the following week. But again, that's okay. So I'm glad that everyone's checking now. You're being very proactive, and that's great. So we don't have to worry about August 1st coming around and people don't have their account set up. This is great that you guys are already doing this. So we appreciate you looking into that already.
I hope everyone can see my screen.
Emily, real quick, Gabby and I will look into your account and just confirm that you are registered for courses, so that you know that they're in there. Okay, we'll let you know. Gabby, I'll look right now. All right, sorry, Miss Inka.
That's okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before I begin, we do have people here from the district. So if you have any questions that me or Ms. Miller can address, we have other people here to help you. So I'm going to get through this as fast. A lot of the stuff I present about is similar to Prairie State. So I'm mindful of your time. I will get through this as quickly as possible.
And I also wanted to add, I'm sorry, Ms. Inka. Hello, everyone. I am here, Ms. Miller. I was having some issues. I was trying to see if I can get better internet, but I'm just having some issues. So I'm letting Ms. Inka present on my behalf. But I am here with you in case you guys have any Bloom-specific questions. But everything is pretty much the same.
Awesome. Yeah, we work as a team. So everything I do at Trail, Ms. Miller basically does the same thing. So once again, the whole program's paid for by District 206. So thank you to everybody in administration, everybody at Bloom District 206 for paying your full tuition, transportation, books. Everything is paid for. So if you ever receive a bill, which we don't have issues with that anymore, but just ignore it. We will pay for it. Well, not me, but the district. The students will take 2 courses in the fall, and they take 2 different courses in the spring. So that's often confusing with kids. So whatever you're taking from August through December, you won't be taking that second semester. You're taking 2 different classes. So you're graduating with 4 college classes to take with you, which is amazing. For our CNA kids, it's different, so we'll address that another time. Our CNA kids are on this call as well, because they will be ECI kids in the spring. So you will have different classes in the spring as you do for CNA. So you can earn potentially 12 to 14 college credits during your senior year to take with you to college. They will transfer to all 4-year college. I mean, it's not perfect always, but majority of kids have no issues transferring their credits. So and if you ever have issues like that, Mrs. Distelmeyer already addressed that, but I always help kids towards like the springtime to look up their classes, where they're going to go, because by then you probably have an idea where you want to attend college. And a lot of times that makes or breaks where you want to go, because you want to make sure your credits can be used. So we will help you with that. Me and Mrs. Miller can always help make sure that those credits are transferred. But really the only issue we ever really have is if you go to like a smaller private school, but it's very rare. Your Prairie State courses are AP weighted. So many of you in this call, I guarantee, have taken an AP class at Bloom or Bloom Trail. So please know your classes at Prairie State will appear on your transcripts at Trail and at Bloom. And those are AP weighted. So that's just going to help your GPA, or could hurt you. Hopefully it just helps you. But it is on there. So no matter what, it'll go with you on your Trail transcript and then on your Prairie State transcript. In your Prairie State transcript, when you finish the program, that will all be requested at the end of the year. So we will address all those things towards the end of the year to make sure your transcripts will go to whatever college you decide to attend. I also put the dates on the side here. Your first day of school for seniors, I hope I read the calendar right, is August 10th. So yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. You're going to be a senior. And your first day of classes at Prairie State is August 22nd. So it's very different. So for all of my kiddos, I'm sure Miss Miller just said the same thing. I'm like, we're going to get to know each other really well, because we're going to have time together before we begin at Prairie State. So I use that time very wisely, just like Mrs. Miller, and we get a lot done. So everybody guarantee will be able to log into their Prairie State accounts. They share their username and password with me, because I always do grade checks. Mrs. Miller does grade checks. We check periodically. We're not all the time, because remember, you are a college student, but we will do grade checks, especially if we have any concerns with anybody. So we always get your username and password. So parents, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always call me or you can call Mrs. Miller and we can log in and take a look at anything together. But we do have that window of time. And then I always have kids start their college application. So we will use that time wisely. Last year, many kids even got all their applications done in that window of time between starting at Prairie State and starting at Trail. So we will make sure our time is used very wisely. Your schedule. So ECI coursework will be completed during first and second period at Bloom and Bloom Trail. So how it works is classes at Prairie State will start for all students at 8:15 in the morning. So that means buses. So your bus is paid for by the district. It's a separate bus than your Trail or Bloom bus. So you have two, it's a completely separate bus route. We will get you that bus route in early August. It's already being worked on now. Me and Mrs. Miller shared all the information to the bus company. So you will have that schedule. So we will be able to share that with you, and then you will arrive at Prairie State on time. The bus has been much better. It depends on the weather, of course, but it takes a week or two to kind of get in the rhythm of it. But the bus, once it starts getting the rhythm of getting people there on time, you will be in class in plenty of time. Many kids get there too early, which is a good thing because then you have time to kind of, ask a professor a question or do whatever you need to do. And your classes at Prairie State will end around, I think, 9:15. So you have a window of time before the bus picks you up. So the bus, Bloom bus and Bloom Trail bus picks you up. I believe, oh my God, we haven't had the bus in like 2 years, I feel like, but I believe it picks you up around 9:45 to get you back to school. So you have like a 5-minute window once you arrive to school to go to your locker and go to third period. So you don't get there too early. We're not like wandering the school or anything. We want you to have time at Prairie State to go to the library or talk to professors. We have learned, this is my 13th year doing ECI, and I have learned you need that valuable time after class to talk to your teacher without rushing to the bus. And you might not need that every day, but you'll need it. Or you need to go to the library or something like that. I think, I know someone on mute. I can't see anything. Someone's on mute. Let me make sure everybody is muted. I can't see anything right now. So your bus is coming soon, and I'm going to give you more information. So the beginning of the school year is so important. Me and Mrs. Miller are going to be giving parents, students, tons of information. So you'll get a lot of your questions answered then. But right now, the biggest thing is just logging into your accounts, okay? So emailing that help desk will get you into your accounts right away. So the first thing is someone's going to email me. I can't log in. I'm going to ask you, did you email the help desk? Because I have no access, and Mrs. Wyack and Mrs. Disselmeyer doesn't have access. It's only through the help desk if you haven't gotten your email. So just do that first, and I'll give you that email address here again soon.
So wait, excuse me.
Yeah.
So we have to, so basically, okay, we have to go to that. But then once you do that, like, it's confusing because I'm trying as well, because you said we can't use our school ID, our school email, right?
Okay, great question. So your school email basically is going to be used for the help desk to reset your password. So when you give the help desk your full name, the email address that you applied to using your Bloom or Bloom Trail email, and your full birthday, they will send you your information to your Bloom or Bloom Trail email to reset it. So you have it there. But after that, once you get that reset information, you'll never use your Bloom Trail or Bloom email for anything related to like Prairie State contact, if that makes sense.
Right, because I know that is how I just logged into the what we did, but then I know like when I tried to press the email that's on the actual Prairie State thing, it was like sign in, you have to use a different account. So that's why I was asking.
Oh, you have to switch between your Bloom or Bloom Trail account to your Prairie State?
Yeah.
Yes, that's very common. So you'll get to know both of them. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a really great question. I'm happy you asked that because we learned that this year too. Some really quick tips to succeed in ECI. Me and Mrs. Miller cannot emphasize, and Mrs. Wyack, Mrs. Disselmeyer, the number one thing to succeed in ECI is going to class. I know it seems so basic, but if any student has ever struggled in the past, that is the one reason why they struggle. So for my Trail ECI kids, it's the first thing we talk about is your attendance. I monitor attendance like crazy. So to even get into the program, attendance was very important. I had a lot of kids prove to me to improve their attendance in order to be a part of the program. So attendance is that important because the moment you miss 1 or 2 classes, your grade goes down. So you just can't, it's just different than at Bloom or Bloom Trail. You can't just call in and say, I'm sick, I'm missing the next few weeks or something. You just can't do that. You have to be in class. So it's extremely important. So you need to communicate these things. So on here is also keep calm, talk to your counselor, meaning talk to me, Mrs. Miller, your Prairie State counselors. We don't know unless you tell us. So if you're like sick or there's a personal, thing going on, we have no idea to let Prairie State know. So I immediately let Prairie State know. So we're really good about communicating, and they said it too. They respond so fast. I love it. So we will get in communication immediately. So you always have to check your email, check the syllabus. These are 4 key things on the screen. If anything you take out of this presentation, these 4 things will help you see. So communication is key. Attendance is key. Once you could do those 2 things, you're golden. You'll do just fine. I've never had a kid struggle that attended every single class, ever. I've never had a kid say they haven't passed the class when they go every single time. It just doesn't, that doesn't go together. So the only time his kid struggles is when they're not attending. Okay. Just like your Bloom or Bloom Trail classes, it's harder when you're not there. Okay. Okay, so I have Remind. This is I'm going to show trails first, and then I'll get to Blooms. So my trail people listening, my students out there, parents, you are always welcome to sign up for my Remind. These are text messages that I'm constantly sending. Remind is my #1 form of communication to all my ECI students. So you are welcome to do that. You're just going to get a lot of messages from me, but you are welcome to do that. And you text it. It's right on the screen. So my trail students are required. If you don't sign up, I will find you and you will sign up. So you have to be on this. I make sure every single kid is on this. So please sign up tonight while you're watching if you haven't done so already. And it's texting 81010, and it's at ECI 2023. So go ahead and do that. I'll give you just a minute, and then I'll show Miss Miller's here on the next screen. And of course, in the next few days, I'm going to email out a copy of this presentation and then the recording. So you'll have all this stuff again. So if you don't catch it tonight, you will get it in an email into your Bloom Trail email or Bloom email from Miss Miller. Okay. So please sign up. I'm getting the messages on my watch that you're signing up. So that's wonderful. So again, it's 81010. Maybe texting it too. And then it's at ECI 2023. All right. And then I'm going to show Bloom's next. So Miss Miller's is next here. And hers is texting, and she uses it just as much as me. So we use it all the time. It's 81010, and Bloom's is at ECICO20. So the code's right on your screen. Hopefully you can see that. So this is Bloom only right now.
Ms. Inca, do you want them to use their school email address? That question came up in the chat.
For a Remind?
Yes.
Oh, yes, for sure. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know they asked for an email address. Many students already use it, but some kids haven't. So yes, and it should tie you to Trail or Bloom High School when you do that.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, thank you. I can't see the question, so I appreciate you telling me what you see.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So again, we will email this stuff out, okay? And just like myself, Mrs. Miller will find you if you don't sign up, because we need you to be a part of it, because it's the best way to communicate, because you guys always have your phones on you, always. You guys always get the messages. Okay, in just a minute, I'm going to put an attendance sheet in the chat so we know who is here tonight, because it was a required meeting. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to just... So this contact information I'm going to share as well. So give me just a minute here. I'm going to take myself out of here. I'm going to stop.
Miss Inca,
Yes.
Can you put up the Bloom? Can you put up? Never mind. Someone was asking for the Bloom Remind.
Thank you, Emily. Emily gave it to her.
Oh, that was so nice. Teamwork, guys. Good job. Okay, so the attendance is coming right now. This is just a simple Google form. Literally all we need is the student's first and last name, and if they go to Trail or Bloom. Okay, it's one form for everybody. Okay, so go ahead and fill that out. And while people are filling that out, does anybody have any, oh, I wanted to add one more thing. I made notes as well. Just presenting. FERPA. So that is so important that me and Mrs. Miller is on there, probably for one of the largest reasons, so we can get your grades, because we don't have access. So we need like your transcripts. So we can put on your trail transcripts or on your Bloom. So important. So yeah, we have to appear on that. So we will definitely make sure you fill that out. If you don't do it by August 1st, we have lots of time together when we get to school. So we will have lots of time to do those things.
I'm sorry, Miss Inca, but your it's like your computer is glitching and making you go fast. So yeah, it's like it's going fast, but it's glitchy a little bit.
Probably sounded like a crazy person. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute it.
Miss Inca, it was just the last thing you said. You were fine all meeting, but maybe the last thing you just said about FERPA. Okay, just repeat FERPA.
FERPA is for at the high school level. Please remember, it's so me and Mrs. Miller can have your grades. So without those, we can't put on your transcripts, and colleges won't see it. So it's so important to do your FERPA form, which is what she was talking about before. So I wanted to say that from the high school perspective as well. Okay. And also D2L, I think she said this, but it won't show your classes until like the start of class. So you're looking at Web Advisor right now for your actual schedule. D2L won't really appear. Am I correct? Am I right? It won't appear until maybe the day you start, right?
Amy, you're cutting out again a little bit.
Okay.
Amy, you're cutting out again. But what she was saying was that classes on D2L, they won't appear until the first day of the semester. So if you try to get into D2L now, don't panic. It's going to be blank. It's not going to let you in because the course shells are just empty. They're not active until the first day of class. So the accounts we'd like you to check is Web Advisor and your Prairie State College email account. Is there any other questions? We also want to mention that the CNA orientation is next week, next Tuesday, the 14th.
So,
and that is in person, right? Right, Ms. Disselmeyer?
Yeah.
If you can remind them where it is in person.
Yes, it's in person. It's in the conference center. And it's at 6:30 in the Barnes and Noble Auditorium.
yeah, because I do have a question on like, so when it comes to us picking fall classes, because I haven't had any foreign language classes, and I feel like I need it for the colleges that I want to get in. So do like the ECI have any foreign language classes?
I hope you can hear me. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to sound funny again. I'd like to answer it. Okay. So we did not offer Spanish this year. We had a hard experience with our students with Spanish. So I think it's kind of a question that you can have. Are you a Bloom student or Trail?
Yes, Miss Inca, Monique goes to she's a Bloom student. Monique, okay. Why don't Miss Miller and I can touch base with you? I was pulling up your transcripts, your historical grades in Power School. So we need to figure out a plan for you and where you want to apply, because a lot of other schools can look at some of those art classes you took as well. So why don't you send me and Miss Miller an email and we can circle back with you.
Thank you.
And please note, so foreign language is tricky, you guys. And this is
then that's also, I was going to say,
go ahead, Mrs. Miller.
I was going to say also, I just want to loop in Miss Winters on that as well, Fanique, your counselor, because I feel like maybe this is something that you guys probably have conversed about, or she would have had some type of conversation with you about it. I know she's really good about addressing the foreign language.
Well, you said my counselor, right?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Miss Winters, that's what I was going to say. Let's include her in on that email as well.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Yes. Can you please repeat the location for the orientation for in person?
Yeah, it's so it's at Prairie State in their auditorium. And it's on June 14th, correct?
Okay, thank you.
June 14th.
Wait, what is the that orientation for again? It was
The,
glitching when
the
I was
next,
hearing it.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm so glitchy.
That's
next
just the
orientation
CNA program, though.
is just the Certified Nursing Assistant program.
Oh,
That's
okay,
not for
okay.
everyone. That's not for everyone. That's just for the
Excuse
students
me.
that signed up for the
Oh,
CNA. We
Okay,
wanted you
thank
guys
you.
to do
I have a
both.
question.
If you're doing CNA, we did have you do both because we want you to have the basic ECI information, but then you have some things that are specific to CNA. So that's why you have that orientation. There was a couple. Layla had a
So,
question, and then Lorenzo had a question. Layla?
When I went to sign in, my password wasn't working, so I went to reset it. And when I reset my password, that password wouldn't work either.
Layla, did you email the help desk?
Yes.
Okay, let them know it's not working again. I'm not sure why. Did they get back to you that quickly?
Yes.
See, there's an example right there. So let them know it's not working again. Have them do it again.
Happens if, because you all are saying this is her mom, I'm sorry, if you all are giving all this information today and saying how vital it is to watch the emails, to look in the emails, and she hasn't gotten the help that she needs with the help that at this point, that means we don't have access to that information. What other options do you all have for us to get that info?
Well, once we have her in, her email, she will get in. Everything is still there. It's not like going to not appear, so it's all going to be there. And she has till August 1st to do that form. So I'm not concerned. Please don't worry or be concerned. We're just giving you the information now, so you have plenty of time to get yourself in, because we don't start until like mid-August, so we're fine. And even if for some reason you don't get in, I'm going to be with them for like 2 weeks. So we will make sure everybody gets in. No one's going to get kicked out of the program or anything like that. I promise you. We just like things done earlier, the better, but it's okay if it's not perfectly done right now. I hope you could hear me and I wasn't glitchy.
Get off.
I
Okay.
just need to show you where the Web Advisor app is. It's in the middle of our home screen. The second purple is Web Advisor. The first one's your Gmail account. The third one's Desire to Learn. Don't worry about this one right now. You can't get in. It's not active until the semester begins. These two.
Sometimes the login just doesn't click with everybody. It takes time to, I mean, we've all had issues with logins. Oh my gosh. So you just might have to just have them reset it again. I'm not really sure why. It's unfortunately out of our control, because I wish I had more help with it, because we're not in the tech department there. I wish I could like just reset everything for everyone, but we just can't.
Yeah, that's why we're happy that you're doing it now, so that if the issues do come up, we have more than enough time.
We appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if for some reason it still doesn't work, you can always contact Gabby and I, and we can contact the help desk. We just don't have that information either, because it's pretty, personal information. So they don't like to share it with anyone but the student. And we get that. So, but we can always contact them as well if it's still not working.
Naomi, I'm just going to bring it up real quick. PrairieState.edu. You're going to click on Web Advisor. Going to talk about COVID a little bit. You're going to go down to continue to Web Advisor, the link on the bottom. This green screen will appear. On the upper right hand side is the login button. You're going to click on that. Mine's automatically logging me in because I use Web Advisor so much, but it's going to say welcome Naomi here. On the left hand side, you'll know that you're logged in at that point. And then you're going to click on the blue student tab. and you're going to click on class schedule under academic profile. Everything else, just disregard it for now. This is the most important thing. We want you to look up your class schedule. You're going to select fall 2022. Press the submit button and your class schedule will appear. Mine is blank because I'm not registered for anything in the fall, but this is where it's going to pop up for you. It's going to tell you your room number of the classroom that you'll be attending in August and your 2 college classes.
So I have a question.
Yes, what's your question?
So basically, you know, this is for orientation from earlier, right? CNA is what again?
The CNA is a certified nursing assistant program, but only like 8 kids are in from Trail and I think 8 from Bloom.
Basically, if you didn't apply for that program, we don't have to go to the orientation.
You do not have to go, correct.
Okay, thank you.
And Michaela, you are correct. The only classes that will go on the transcript is from the ECI program.
And could I sign up for CNA for the second semester, you said?
Yeah, I mean, we have it second semester. So absolutely. Just speak, I think you have Miss Miller, or you don't have me, do you? Okay, good. I was like, I don't know your name. Okay. Yeah, just absolutely. We'll have it. I'm assuming we'd have it second semester. Yeah. As long as it could fit in your schedule at Bloom. Yes. Any other questions?
Yeah, Omar, when you're in CNA, it's 3 periods a day. So we just have to talk with Miss Miller and Miss Largent and look at your schedule.
All right, will do.
Anything else? If you don't have any questions and you fill out your attendance sheet, you can feel free to log off. Otherwise, we'll stay on with any other questions you might have.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Have a good day.
Sable, I'm assuming you
Thank
mean
you.
like
Have a good day.
accommodations for like a 504 IEP. Why don't you email me and we can address that? Just me and you will come up and I'll explain that, okay? I will email the recording of this presentation. I will email the presentation to Miss Miller as soon as it's on the YouTube. I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Emily asked if she wants to do CNA in the spring if she has to come next week. But I think there'll be another meeting for the spring semester,
Correct.
so you don't have to go.
Right. Correct. Yes, everyone can leave if you have no questions. Otherwise, just feel free to ask a question if you have one.
Miss Amy, I just want to check to see if you received the attendance sheet.
I will check now.
Thank you.
I have it. You're good.
PrairieState.edu.
Thanks, Laura.
The app is Web Advisor. Click on Continue to Web Advisor. The login button is going to be on the top right-hand side. You're going to log in. Your username is your full email address, and the temporary password that Prairie State College sent you If you don't have it, reach out to helpdesk@prairiestate.edu. Then once you're in, click on the blue student tab. Under academic profile, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth link, it says my class schedule. Click that blue tab. Then you have to put term fall 2022 and press submit, and your schedule will appear.